Hello, this is Stephen again, and today I'm bringing you a different message. This is my first video vlog they call it, I think. Now, most of you already know me, and you will know that I mainly focus my YouTube channel videos around metal detecting and wombling. Yes, wombling. Just never mind, just check it out in the channel, you'll find it. But this one is about a completely different subject. I wanted to share a more advanced way of how to get metal detecting permissions. But not only that, you can use this technique for anything. I've got a friend, for example, who collects matchboxes, 35,000 he's got, and he thought he had just exhausted all his resources and didn't know how he was going to keep his collection coming in. So he did what I'm now going to show you, and he's got people sending them to him from all over the world. It's amazing. If you haven't already seen, I've got two videos showing seven different ways that I still use on getting permissions, and I'll put a link to those videos in this description. Look at that first and try those first, and if you can do this tip I'm now going to give you, fantastic. This is the most successful way I have found of getting multiple permissions and the landowners ringing you to say, please come and dig my land. Wouldn't that be a great scenario? Anyway, this is what it is before we get into the video. Around the world there are organisations that have guest speakers. They give you a free lunch, they give you a free dinner, whatever the case may be if it's an evening club, and they're only small people, between 10 and maybe 50 people. Some of them are really big organisations, but I'm particularly talking about Rotary International. Rotary International is 111 years old, and there are little satellite clubs around the world. There'll probably be 2 or 3 Rotary International clubs near where you live, no matter where you live. And they're always having guest speakers who get a limited spot about 20 minutes after the meal to deliver a message and share the passion of their interests with them. I went along to my local Rotary Club and I gave my story, and I've had 4 permissions come from this just by delivering a free talk about my passion. I even got a meal for being there. Now, before you say, oh, I could never stand up in front of people and give a talk, that's fine. I took Mark with me because he said exactly the same thing. I took him with me to show him how it's done. And I made him earn his keep as well, because I put him on one of the cameras and had the other camera set up on one side. And what I'm saying to you about this is, if you cannot do what you're now going to see, then buddy up with someone who can. And then the permissions that come in will be joint permissions. So let's cut now to the video and I'll show you how it went. Right, well, thank you very much, Mr. President, for inviting me. Graham, for inviting me. I'm Stephen. I'm the man with the hat, as known on my YouTube channel, which is the blue card on your table. And some people like to call me the twat in the hat. I did have some quite good fortune fairly soon after starting. There was one chap in Bridleston, near where I live, who gave me a piece of land which had been hunted by metal detectorists, 30 or 40 of them over the last 30 years, and they hadn't found anything. They'd all given up the land, and the landowner said to me, yeah, you can go on, but you won't find anything. And I found a hoard of Roman coins, 110 silver Roman coins. You may have seen this in the paper. And it's taken nearly 2 years for the process to go through, so it's almost complete. And almost complete means being displayed in a museum. So when we realised it was a hoard, and there is certain criteria which makes a hoard, if you find a coin which is 10% silver or gold, over 300 years old, on a proximity, one coin, you can keep it. In close proximity, if you find another coin, and it can be related in some way to the one you found, like 2 Roman silver coins, because I found 110, then that's classified as a hoard, even though there's only 2 coins, and it immediately becomes treasure trove. You have to surrender it to the correct authority, which is the Portable Antiquity Scheme, which is the right-hand arm of the British Museum, and they record this. They go to the curator of the British Museum to totally appraise what you found, and they decide whether it is actually a treasure trove or not, and they then submit it to the coroner in the nearest coroner to the location where it was found. Mine was Bradford, who has the final decision to rule it as treasure trove or not. You can go along if you wish and watch the process, and most coroners will tell you what a joy it is to do something like that rather than the usual things that you have to do. Within a month after that, I happened to be at another commission, which again had been heavily detected by somebody else. And you'll see on the large cards you've got on your table, I actually found a Tudor period merchant's ring. It's only 4 inches deep. It had hundreds of detectors on there over the past decades, and I found the merchant's ring. It's a lovely ring. It's huge. Since finding these, I've been interested in the aspect of treasure, treasure trove. Not just finding ordinary things, but ordinary things are really, really nice. I've got some stuff here to show you, but treasure trove in particular is really nice to find. And I've had my third treasure trove just a few weeks ago, which is now going through the same process all over again. Now, the other definition of treasure not relating to coins is relating to artefacts of any description. That's an artefact, not coin. And because it contains either 10% silver or gold, you only have to find one item, and that's immediately treasure trove, so it's over 300 years old. I'm now a volunteer recorder being trained by the British Museum to record all the artefacts in this area that are ever found. We're starting with the ones that I find, that Mark finds, and the people who give to me. To if you like, to broaden the historical map of Great Britain. Some ordinary things which are lost are quite remarkable, and you wouldn't think there'd be much interesting to talk about a piece of lead. But that's my lead box, and in the top of this lead box I've got some round objects with a hole in the middle. Does anybody know what they are?
Worm weights.
Very good.
You know me, John.
Only women ever used spindle wheels, loom weights. And of course they would lose them, or they would finish their spinning and they would just toss them one side or whatever. The stick would rot away, leaving behind the spindle wheel. Now, this one's a really nice pattern one, because by the time they got to medieval period, they took a lot of pride in their spindle wheels and they decorated them. They're cast in a mould and they decorated them. And this one is my oldest one, which is I name. So what I'll do is I'll put this one over here to pass around and have a look at. And I'll put this one over here to look at, and I'll end up on the president's table. Another piece of lead. Now I don't know if you can see that from there, and there's 2 holes in it, it's got a frilly edge. 2 holes in it gives it away. Who knows what that is? I guarantee you all played with these as you were a child, but you made them out of cardboard.
Oh, no.
Whirligig. Yeah. That's a medieval whirligig. Probably as I said, my most favourite coin I'll all have a look at is this one. Simply because there's a unique history to it. It's only a green copper type coin. There's no silver, no gold in it, no nothing. There's the history of this coin. It's so fascinating. Now, I'm going to let you have a look at this. I'll start off with the President's table first. This coin is unique in a certain way. James II of England was trying to, in 1690, when that coin was made, was trying to win back the throne, the British throne, the English throne, from William of Orange, William III. And he decided to put an army together based with Portuguese and Spanish, and the only way he could get them to fight was to pay them in silver and gold, which he hadn't got. So what he did was, in 1690, was to melt down all the church bells and the cannons and everything else in Ireland and made his own currency. That coin has got James II on one side, and on the top of the coin it's got X11, 10, 12, so that's a shilling, that's worth a shilling. 1690 at the top, shilling, and right at the bottom it's got in script APR. Now why would a coin, our only coin in history, have the month on? If you had your silver and gold, or you had the cash in your hand, after a couple of years you've got some interest on it, haven't you? But you're not getting the interest, are you? So these tokens were made with the month on and the year at the top, so that when you cash them in at the end, James II will pay you the face value plus the interest of that month. And he made that coin from the church bell from the cannons of Ireland by knocking them all down. And he lost. So he never had to pay up. The real aim of me being here is to share this amazing history with you. It's not just a case of swinging a metal detector and it beep and you dig it up. It's about recording our history. It's about putting it onto the map and developing that map for our next generation. And when you know about how much land is being destroyed for development and this sort of stuff, without first getting people in to see what's there, we're losing so much precious stuff. And one of the reasons why I'm here today is to tout for land to dig on. I want to try and rescue as much history as possible. I want to record as much on the database of the British Museum as possible. I want to share with you as landowners what's on your land. Maybe develop a bit of a picture of what could have happened on your land. So basically that's why I'm here. I'm here to explain what I do, to show you that between us we do it ethically, we abide by the book, we've got insurance in place to cover us for any accidents we might have on your land, so you're not going to get sued if we get run over by a bull, or if you leave your gate open and the bull escapes, because we're covered. And we're proud of what we do, and we're proud to stand up and represent the good detectorists in this country.
Any more questions, Jack?
I suppose it's like an iceberg that you spend so much time detecting, but you must spend inordinate amounts of time in following through the digging, trying to identify.
That's the fun part. And I'm glad to say, you've surprised me, because being a Rotarian for a few years myself, I know that it's a temptation to go to sleep with the tool. So you haven't done that today. I'm very grateful for that. If you can help me get any landlord contacts, if you know somebody who you can introduce me to, myself and Mark, we'd really like to take it a step further and investigate their land. You know how to reach me now, and I thank you very much indeed for putting up with me.
Stephen is the man with the hat and the metal detector. Whoa, whoa. Walking the land, he's a treasure collector. Whoa, whoa. Metal detecting and digging lots of holes, looking for anything that's old. New videos every week, so please subscribe.
Catch you later.